but there's help for people. And I'm not saying we pull that back at all. I'm talking about the small percentage, or growing percentage, 30% of the homeless that are choosing to live on the street, choosing to maintain a lifestyle of drug use and lawlessness, and hurting our quality of life in Arizona. And we will become what you're describing if we do not tackle this immediately, because it's a tipping point. It's kind of exponential, and then boom, you've got a dead city.
Well, and Arizonans need to realize that this is a slippery slope. You can have sympathy for the homeless population, but the minute that they grow their camp in your parkade, where you're supposed to walk to work, and you realize you're no longer safe parking in the parkade,
or that no one wants to come to your business because they have to walk over it,
and now you've got an entire city that's in rumble, in ashes because just because of the homeless situation, because they're there and they're making the taxpayers unsafe. People don't want to work at your business. People don't want to come to your business. You don't even want to go to your business, and you're paying money for this building and taxes on these areas that are being destroyed. You're going to take yourself and your business and your money and you're going to go elsewhere, which is exactly what I did in Oregon. Homelessness was a major issue, and of course I left for very different political reasons. But I left, I was paying rent to the city of Salem, so to the actual government. And I took my 5,000 square feet, 5-year lease, and I walked away. And the city suffers because of what they did to me. The city suffers. And
the whole community.
The
whole community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's really actually cruel, and you're showing no compassion if you allow people to do that.
Because guess what happens? Imagine then you lose your business, and then you're homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a ripple effect here.
Yes. Right.
Yep, full circle.
It's craziness.
I came up with the idea where we really had to, you don't typically hear somebody writing for a statewide office saying we're going to tackle homelessness. But I was driving to a campaign event, and we were at a stoplight, and I looked over, and it was like a scene out of a zombie apocalypse. I saw like 4 or 5 people completely drugged out. One was bent over, and I don't know what drug this person was on, but it scared me. And I thought, imagine being a mother in this part of town. You've got your kid in the stroller, and you're just going to run over to the grocery store and get a few things. This person is dangerous. Whatever they're on, whatever's going on, you wouldn't even dare. You'd rather walk through traffic than walk by this person. And then I looked through the parking lot, and I saw like 4 or 5 more people that were on stuff. I don't know what they were on, but it's just not safe. It's not safe to walk through parking lots. And then, of course, we are, thank goodness, we have a freedom, Second Amendment rights here. But even carrying a gun, you don't want to have a shootout in the parking lot. You just want to get to your car safely and not be accosted.
Right.
And having kids of my own, I worry about their safety. We should be able to enjoy this beautiful state. We don't want to become Oregon, Washington, California, and so we have to tackle this. And I think that we can really make sure that people get off the streets or move along. But it's no longer going to be cool and allowed in Arizona, if I'm governor, to just live on the streets, cause all kinds of trouble, and detract from the quality of life from Arizonans who pay taxes, work hard, and do the right thing.
Well, and I just have to say, too, it's not the government's job to do everything. Okay, this is what we don't want, is to be dependent on the government to do everything, right?
Right.
And at Turning Point, and I'm hoping he was talking about you, at Freedom Night, Charlie Kirk, someone actually addressed the homelessness issue. Oh, and Charlie Kirk had said, well, I met with a gubernatorial candidate, and you know how they can't say anything political. And her policy, and I was like, ooh. And it was a lot of what Charlie was saying was that the church needs to step in. The church is called by God.
The church does step in a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually feel like the church does so much for that, but they can't do it alone.
No, they can't.
I mean, and if police can't police, there's a whole nother thing, right?
That's another part of my plan.
We're
going to go back to the broken windows. And if you've been around long enough to remember when Rudy Giuliani took over New York City was not safe at all, kind of where it is now. It was just a nightmare. Nobody wanted to go there.
I remember that.
He came in and said, we are going to do broken window policy, which is basically you go after every infraction. If somebody is jaywalking and stopping traffic and they're, ambling across the road, we're going to arrest or we're going to ticket. We're going to start going after people. And I know that people are homeless. You say, well, how would they pay the tickets? if they get involved into a program to get help, we will erase all those infractions.
Oh, wow.
But we have to start going after every little thing because we're letting a lot of little things slide and a lot of big things slide right now. And that's how you get unsafe streets. President Trump called it a return to law and order.
Yes.
And we have to have that.
Then cops will want to sign up here and be here because they're being respected
police.
And they can actually do their job.
Yep.
And I believe that the majority of people want that.
You called us a sanctuary state for police officers, didn't you?
A sanctuary state. Right now, it feels like we're like sanctuary states for homeless and some of the lawlessness, and we need to flip that.
Yeah.
Because we can be an economically strong state. We can be a beautiful state. We know we're a gorgeous state. We have gorgeous people here as well. But if we're not a safe state, then we're nothing. Mm-hmm. Then who wants to live here?
Right.
Well, I want to move on to something.
Just so you guys know, though, really quick.
What?
I can compare the two.
Yes.
Arizona is just killing it. This is a beautiful state compared to Oregon.
Yeah.
In all areas.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Can you imagine what it was like?
So when you're going to be governor, it's going to be even more incredible. It's going to be heaven.
We're just going to be a place that people want to live. The government is not involved in their life. We're going to see our beautiful faces because nobody's going to wear masks anymore.
Yes.
Gosh.
Unless they insist on it. If the liberals want to wear masks their whole life, go for it.
Freedom.
But take them off your kids. I can't handle watching these beautiful children with masks on. It's just
horrible.
As a mom, it kills me.
Yeah.
It's really, speaking of that, going in, you talked about, I think our last talk, or that I had you on Faith Talk, we talked about cameras in the classrooms, and you were getting some heat on that. Please tell our audience your thoughts on that.
I was just asked about this yesterday, and I said, who brought cameras into the classroom is Governor Ducey when he shut our schools down and introduced Zoom learning, remember?
Yeah. Yep. He brought them into our homes. He put cameras in our homes.
In our homes.
Yes.
Exactly. So this isn't a new concept.
Exactly.
The whole issue is we just want to know what the curriculum is. We want to know our kids are safe. We had a sexual assault of a special needs student in Scottsdale. Yep. Had there been cameras in that classroom, we could have stopped that or definitely stopped that perpetrator.
Right.
And someone said, it's Big Brother. No. Big Brother implies the government watching you. These are government-run schools, and we're keeping an eye on them. Mm-hmm. And so if they're going to lie and say they're teaching respectable curriculum and we find out they're not, your son or your daughter comes home and says, this is what they taught me at school, you can call the school and say, hey, wait a minute, what happened during fourth period in my son's class? He says it was very un-American, that anti-American curriculum or whatever the curriculum issue was. They can pull that tape and find out that recording. This isn't something that a bunch of people who are perverted, have nothing to do with the school, are going to be able to go, I'm going to watch school. I'll say this.
Look at little Sally today.
The teachers union, which, by the way, doesn't care about teachers, nor does it care about students, and they really hate the parents, they were behind pushing our police officers to wear body cams. They pushed and pushed and pushed for that, and now they want no accountability. I just want curriculum accountability.
That's right.
And if we don't get cameras in the classroom, then we need to find a place that our parents can see right out there in the open what the curriculum is.
Well, and even as you say that, that's still a lesser option than what you're saying, because teachers can lie and teachers can slip little statements in, and we've seen them do it all over YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, where a teacher's political or racial opinion becomes a part of the curriculum simply because, they've got your attention. They've got the classroom. It's my classroom. I'll say what I want. And the problem with anyone who doesn't like the idea of cameras, you got to wonder, well, why not then? If you're following the curriculum, if you're being appropriate, if you're not doing anything wrong, what is the problem with us being able to hold you accountable?
Right. We were talking to a teacher, Jonathan Koppel, a month ago, who was saying he wished there had been cameras in the classroom because there's a lot of things that he wished, when students were doing things or coming against him or lying, he's like, I wish things were on camera. So if you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing to worry about.
If they're accused of something, wrongly accused. But think of this. We have cameras right now on our school buses aimed at the children. Mm-hmm. So this whole thing, we're trying to protect the kids. They're already recording our kids in the cafeterias and the hallways. The only place they don't want cameras is on the instruction of what's being taught.
Yeah.
Why? And the same people who are attacking me for this is an idea Tucker Carlson put out, by the way. So I'm not alone. There are some other conservatives out there saying, we just want to know what's being taught. The same people who I'm running against who are now, they're just trying to find something to attack me on. These are people who, as lobbyists, made a fortune by those traffic gotcha cams, as I call them. You're driving, you're a little bit late for work, you speed a little bit through a light, and next thing you know, you 3 weeks later, you get a picture.
Yeah.
And you got a ding against your driving record. So the same people who are opposed to cameras showing the accountability for our curriculum are all for snapping pictures of you at the stoplight and sending you a bill. They're all for cameras in the school buses and cameras in the cafeteria, but not on the
How do they
curriculum.
indoctrinate, Carrie, with cameras in the classroom?
That's right.
Exactly.
You
Right?
are foiling their plan.
You're ruining
about
the camps.
Yes. We've got to brainwash them. And what they don't accomplish there, they finish in university, and then the media finishes the rest of it, right?
The media does a great job of tying
It's
it
like
all
our
in together
kids
for
are just
everyone.
getting it everywhere.
Yep. I will stumble upon, the other day I was in a restaurant with my husband on a date, and the news was up on the cameras in the sports, and I stood up and started screaming at the news. I never watched the news for this reason, and I just sitting there for 5 minutes, I was furious. I'm like, they really do this. 2 people, 24 hours a day. The COVID ticker, the masks, the doing the interview 6 feet apart, the whole thing. And
I just did
lost
one the
my
other day
mind.
with Martha Raddatz from
saw
ABC.
that. I saw how
She
far
said
she had to stand from
They
you.
said, like, you stand here, and then the producer walks, 6-7 feet away, and I'm like, this is so stupid. We're outside. What the heck is going on?
So
And
stupid.
then the final product, they say it's going to be, fair. Well, tell us about your campaign, blah, blah, blah. And then what they put on is like the big lie, and these people.
Oh my
and I'm like,
gosh.
Oh my God. It
gosh.
never fails.
But Carrie, we see right through it. Just so you know, your people, we see right through it. Conservatives, Republicans, whatever you want to call the people who are pro-freedom, we know their tricks. We already know what they're going to do to you, and it's actually just joyful to watch you dance around their silly, silly questions.
Well, the smear ads are coming out against me. And I told President Trump, I was talking to him on the phone, I said, they're giving me the Trump treatment. They're so
Yes,
afraid.
it's an honor. It's a
They're
badge.
so afraid of the America First movement because they know it works and it will root out corruption and bring the government back to we the people. And so that's why they're attacking. And he said, you're over the target. That's why. Just be strong.
Yep, you
Be
are. You're
strong,
doing amazing.
Mama. We're praying for you.
right.
You're back. You're amazing. And you guys, coming up soon, March 5th, the Rock and Roll Rodeo with Carrie Lake. It's a Carrie Lake rally. Your girls, Lindsay and
It's
I,
gonna be fun.
we're emceeing this event. There's going to be fun for the whole family. Go to our page. It's in our link at She's So Right, and go to carrielake.com and see what's happening with this campaign and get involved, guys. It's going to be an amazing year with Carrie at the helm.
God bless America.
Thank you, guys. It was so much fun to be on.
Thank you.
Thank you.